One of the things I do appreciate about Ryan Murphy is that he employs women of a certain age and gives them roles when, like, a lot of Hollywood is putting them to the wayside. Welcome back, everybody, to And Just Like Yap. I'm Caroline.
I'm Andy.
And this is a historic day. I'm so excited that we are going to be covering All's Fair as a Kardashian historian. This is huge. This is, as we know, Kim has dabbled a little bit in acting before this, but she is leading. She is the star of All's Fair on Hulu, a new production in the Ryan Murphy universe. Hulu has said this is the most viewed trailer of any show they have ever debuted on their platform. It's had over 143 million views, which is crazy. Like, that's like Marvel numbers, I feel like. And which is funny because, like, Ryan Murphy is trying to pitch this as the new, like, Lady Avengers, which is leans into my theory that they're trying to make this like our Sex in the City, like the new Sex in the City, because there's like all of this press, which we'll get into some of the press. They've been doing a lot of premieres all over the globe. They've done premieres in London. I think they did a premiere in LA, obviously, and I think the other one's either New York or Paris. I can't remember, but like, they're leaning into, like, these are, like, fashion women. These are, like, A-listers. Like, we'll break down the cast in, like, a second. Because it's just, like, we have, like, it's Glenn Close, Sarah Paulson, Tiana Taylor, Kim, Niecy Nash, and Naomi Watts. Which, like, that's crazy.
Whoever thought we were going to see Kim Kardashian and Glenn Close
I know.
acting opposite each other? Also, like, what is her acting background? I know she did, like, an episode of SNL, but, like...
well, we're going to get into that in a second.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. We're getting there in a second. But, yeah, so I think it's something she's, like, long-term always has wanted to act. And I think Ryan Murphy has been, like, the vehicle for her to get there. So just a background for several of our actors in the cast who are Ryan Murphy regulars. Now, how many shows do you think Ryan Murphy has created at this point?
10?
22.
What?
22.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know. I've been with Ryan Murphy. I don't watch his stuff as regularly anymore, but Nip Tuck was my intro.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah,
okay.
That was Ryan Murphy. But, okay, now Sarah Paulson is obviously probably his, like, other than Jessica Lange, his other number one regular, 14. She's been, I didn't get the number of the American Horror Story, but she was on Ratched, which is about the nurse in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She's in People versus O.J. Simpson. She was in Impeachment, where she played Linda Tripp. She's been in, like, almost every Ryan Murphy project, which is, like, crazy to think about. Niecy won an Emmy for the other monster show, the one that was before Menendez Brothers. It's the one that was also on.
Yeah.
And Naomi Watts was in Feud, Capote versus the Swans, but she's about to be an American Love Story where she's playing Jackie Kennedy, and that's going to be about JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
Oh, that's good casting.
But there's also controversy around that because they haven't really gotten consent from a lot of the Kennedy family.
And I'm sure they will not.
Correct. So there's, you can do your own digging about that. There's a lot out there for you to read about that. But, so we have some of the regular characters from the Ryan Murphy universe on the show. Shockingly, I was surprised Glenn Close hasn't been in any Ryan Murphy shows before this, but this is her first. One of the things I do appreciate about Ryan Murphy is that he employs women of a certain age and gives them roles. So it's like, you know, for any issues I have with him, I do appreciate that these are, like, the women that he's casting and giving them work when, like, a lot of Hollywood is putting them to the wayside. And it's like, this Ryan Murphy is why Niecy Nash got to give that iconic Emmy speech where she was like, I want to thank myself. And if you haven't watched it, that is one of my favorite award show speeches of all time. It's so good. I love Niecy. Ryan Murphy, several years ago, went to dinner at Kris Jenner's house with her and Kim. And apparently he pitched some reality style show to them that he, like, wanted to do, and Kris was essentially like, that's nice, sweetie, but, like, Kim wants to act. So he wrote her a role in this season of American Horror Story where she plays Emma Roberts, I think, like, either PR or, like, manager. She's essentially playing her mom in many ways. And it's like a 2-3 episode role. And they were amazed enough by her performance so that in this screen grab I took, Ryan comes back for dinner in season 5 of The Kardashians, and this is when they pitch All's Fair. And he pitches them, he's like, we want to do a show around Kim where she is the head of this law firm. It's all women, and it's all like, and they're dealing with like divorce. And they're like helping women. So this is kind of like the genesis of All's Fair happens like on this. And they're like, well, and there's this like whole scene in the conversation where Chris is like, well, you have your kids, you know, you have Skims, and you have law school, but like, you know, you always make anything work that you want to make work.
What came first, like the idea for the show, or like I'm wondering if like Ryan Murphy was like at all influenced by the fact that like Kim had gone through. She's divorced from Kanye now, right?
She's divorced from Kanye now, and
I'm wondering if he like I don't know, because like it seems very on the nose to be like, you're going to law school, you went through a messy divorce, yeah.
And I have questions about that as we get through the trailer. Some things that I've pulled because I do think some of this is like way more influenced on Kim's life than I think that maybe they're like letting on. But I think she had a hand in developing it. I don't know how much. But that is like how we've gotten to this point. This is how we've gotten to All's Fair. So I think we got to get into the trailer. I'm very excited about this show. So we have this initial shot. Everything is like, I think the initial vibes that I'm getting is like, it's Scandal, but for divorce. Is what it feels like. But we see Sarah Paulson coming in. It's like there's a lot of fashion. Everything feels very luxe and like over the top. And what's interesting is I realized quickly in this trailer, and you kind of realize as she's like going through here, Sarah Paulson is not a part of their law firm. She's a rival lawyer, which is like a fun twist. I think that she gets to be this like bitchy lawyer that comes in on whatever case they're going against. Now, she makes a comment about how the building looks like a clown service. And I was like, interesting. This reminds me of some other piece of architecture. And this is in Kim and Kanye's house. This is the hallway in Kim and Kanye's house. Now, if you've ever wanted to have a nightmare, go look at the architecture of Kim and Kanye's house. It is one of the scariest houses I think that's ever been put on the market. It is like all like these empty hallways, and it's just like what? And there's kids that live here. Like
that is not like a happy place for children to be. I thought you were gonna say that the clown cervix hallway looked like, do you know a different Kendall Roy, Kendall Roy's birthday party where they have to enter through like the birth canal.
Oh yeah. Close, very close. But yeah, this is part of Kim and Kanye's house.
I'm thinking of Melania Trump's Christmas decorations.
Oh,
I got confused. That's what the aura this is giving.
I will say not far off, but we cut back to, we see Niecy and Kim walking in their cunty little fits. You know, we're lady boss lawyers. And Sarah's ready. She's like, there is a war to be won. We have no idea about what. Someone's divorce. And we see that Tiana is working at the front desk. Now, this is where I get to tell you the character names on this show. And okay, you're not going to guess any of them.
I didn't look them up.
They all sound like improv names. Okay, now Kim's character's name is Allura Grant.
Allura? Okay.
Allura Grant.
W. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Naomi Watts is named Liberty Ronson.
Okay.
Niecy is named Emerald Green.
Okay.
Sarah Paulson is Carrington Lane.
Oh my gosh.
Glenn Close is Dina Standish.
Uh-huh.
And Tiana is Milan.
Just Milan.
This sounds Milan. It sounds like when you make the stripper names.
I was just about to say the same
plus
thing.
The first street that you lived on.
Yes. This is like the word salad of names. I had a comment about the desk, the reception desk she is sitting at. So we're talking about like overall the aesthetic of this show. I immediately was like, oh, that reception desk is like Judy Chicago, The Dinner Party, which is like a piece of installation art by this artist, Judy Chicago, that I had to study.
Cultured.
Well, this was like the one part of like my art history seminar in college that I did not sleep through. It's like, this also was it's this like huge ceremonial banquet setup. It's this big like triangle, which I think is supposed to be like
Amazing.
a womb or like a vagina or whatever. And then like there's all these like table settings, embroidered runners, gold chalices and utensils, china painted porcelain plates, raised central motifs that are based on vulvar and butterfly forms.
God bless.
Each setting at the table, I think it like commemorates like a different like influential woman in history. So the whole thing is like, you know, important women having a seat at the table.
Wow.
This is why like my brain went to this, just
Okay.
because of the overall themes of the show. And it just made me like wonder, I'm like, are we gonna get like more, I don't know,
Yeah.
signaling and like more symbolism throughout the
love
show?
that.
Or maybe
Wow.
I'm overthinking it. I don't know.
No, we're going to be the only podcast referencing Judy Chicago. Oh, which I do think I should also remind everyone that this show's on Hulu and the Kardashians is also on Hulu. You
Yeah.
can put those two things together and figure out probably also how this happened. And we see our first guest star, Meryl Streep's daughter, Grace Gummer. And then we get our next client, Brooke Shields.
Yes.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. I cannot believe Jennifer Jason Leigh is on this show. And also, not in the trailer, but I read in the Deadline article, Jessica Simpson is apparently guesting on this as well. This is an embarrassment of riches.
Do you think because Ryan Murphy is always playing three-dimensional chess of you know, scorned women, do you think that I don't know the background on all of these actresses, but obviously I know Jessica Simpson and Brooke Shields. Jessica Simpson with Nick O'Shea, also Tony Romo, and
her most recent husband.
Do you think he specifically chose famous actresses who have gone through like ugly divorces? ?
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. I also, part of me, I thought you were going to say 3D chess. I wonder if it's then him trying to work more with Jessica Simpson in the future.
Oh, I mean, I for all of us, I hope that's the case.
I know, because I would be curious, because that was like the plant with Kim. It's like, I wouldn't be shocked if we then see something with like him and Jessica in the future. Which is shocking. And then of course, how can we forget our Saved by the Bell queen, Elizabeth Berkley. Oh my God, thrill! I'm already sad. Like I this entire just this montage, I was like, great. I don't need this show to be good. I'm happy. I'm grinning ear to ear.
Just to see all these iconic women that we all know, like there's somebody on this show for everybody. There's somebody on this show that you're like, oh my God, I loved her in this. Like I'm also extremely sad. For
every, like, generation, it feels very, like, coded for Gen X and millennial women, because I think there's a little bit for, like, both generations. So it's clear from the way that this is set up, these women are coming in, they need Kim Kardashian to help them with their divorce. And then we see Naomi Watts in, like, a crazy hat out on the streets going to Judith Light! Another... Guys! We're so lucky.
I know. What a time. Thank God for this.
I know.
Because the shit's been so grim, and to see Judith Light in a dressing gown, drunk on wine in the middle of the day, thrilled. I'm thrilled.
I know. What I'm like, it's like we're getting the lawyer version of like First Wives Club also. Is what I'm kind of hoping. And then we see a very familiar face. Richard!
This was such a jump scare. Because Richard
Wright is here, because at this point we have like a voiceover of Glenn Close saying men, they're terrified of us. So I'm assuming he is either Judith Light's ex, or maybe it's Glenn Close's ex. We don't really know at this point in the trailer. But we see this montage of like Glenn talking to Naomi and Kim in her office, because obviously Glenn is like probably the person who's the like main partner, but doesn't really act
senior
as much
partner
anymore. Yeah. And she's like, men, they're terrified. And we get this like strange montage of men like laughing around an office table, and Glenn Close is at like the end of it, and she's the only woman there. So we get through that, and we get this montage. Sarah Paulson is clearly pissed at them, and we get an iconic shot of her flipping the bird in a gorgeous leather glove. Talking about the women besting men in divorce. And now we see our two girlies. They're like, I love my job. They're having fun in the back of the car. Kim has this voiceover where she's talking about, I tell my clients every day, you don't know who they are, they're a trap. And we see what's obviously a flashback to Kim getting married. And this made me think of, again, this is why I think a lot of this is probably pulled from Kim's life. I was like, this is very Kim and Chris Humphries coded. Her divorce before Kanye. They were married for infamously for 72 days. But the divorce, so a lot of the big debacle with this was also Chris Humphries sucked. Could not stand Chris Humphries. It took over 2 years for them to finalize the divorce for a 72-day marriage, including she had to give him the engagement ring back that she paid 4/5 for. He only paid for 1/5 of the ring.
So he was just trying to suck as much money out of her as possible, and that's why it took so long.
Correct. And it made me think of Love is Blind and the Patrick Casey conversation. But so she paid for the majority of her engagement ring and he got it back in the divorce. Yeah, so I think we'll see some similarities, from this in the show. I think this is the more interesting divorce to pull from because obviously, as we touched on, the Kim and Kanye stuff, I think is just very tricky for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
And I think she started openly talking about it more this season on the Kardashians, which I think is interesting because of how she's tried to keep her kids very removed from anything that's happened with Kanye, but now they're getting to an age where she can't really block that anymore and how do you present that to them. And then we're seeing this shot of when they were happily married, and we then get a pull to Sarah Paulson and who is the client that she's with, and she's on speakerphone with Kim. It's her husband, who is very Smith-Jared coded.
I had to rewind because I was like, wait, is that the same guy we just saw? Yes, it is.
It is,
yeah, this fucking snake. I have no anything else about this character, but I was like, oh shit, that was it was a kind of a big reveal for a trailer.
I know, and I also am if a dog sitting like that, I was like, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, and it's not far. And I don't trust this man.
I also don't trust a man who wears a tank top indoors in the middle of the day.
And a gold chain.
Yeah, no.
And his hair slicked back like that. No. You wish you could be Smith-Jared.
Yeah. And you could only dream.
I think inherently also we're not meant to trust any man on this show. I think just from as we were saying, as the motif is very female motivated.
Yes.
And then we cut to Kim is very upset on the receiving end, understandably, of the speakerphone call. And Sarah Paulson does some witty line. She's like, say bye-bye to your future ex-wife. I was like, I can't imagine being a lawyer.
I don't know that it's a lot like this.
No.
But I will say, having studied court reporting and stenography, and having
you have experience,
having sat in on some depositions, I was always very surprised, especially when it came to divorce, just how ugly it can get, and how sort of I'm sure this show is pretty over the top, but I don't know. I've been a fly on the wall in some situations where I'm like, I actually cannot believe what's going on in front of me or what is being said out loud. Because this shit just gets really, really ugly. And it is actually can be dramatic and ridiculous as a television show.
Yeah. And they're and it's, you forget that it's you loved this person once and now they're your worst enemy. And it's and they use all the things that at one time was very sacred to you and they use it against you. It's just I don't know, divorce is just so interesting. And then I always go back to thinking about that iconic photo of that couple in the courtroom in 1995 separating their Beanie Babies during their divorce trial. I always think about that.
Oh man. This show is going to be interesting because divorce is a very rich area because it is essentially a business agreement that you enter into with somebody, but it's also because of just how the world works and how people are, it's a very emotional choice. And we put a lot of sort of romance and emotion, and it's all about love and partnership, but it's a legally binding agreement that then you have to then you have to find a way to get out of if things like love and romance, which are unfortunately ephemeral. We've set up marriage, especially in this country, but globally, as as if it's just like this big romantic thing, and it's like, no, you're signing legal paperwork as well, so like we do need to keep that in mind.
I know. I think I learned from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that's the first time I'd ever heard of like a forensic accountant, because Sutton Strack talks about in her divorce with her ex-husband, she had to get a forensic accountant, and that was how to find out like what all of their finances are. Basically, you have to find out in a divorce, and then that was how she found out they owned a minor league baseball team. She had no idea what they owned. Like, just stuff like that. When you have, like this amount of money, it's like, I don't even know, like, you're barely scratching the surface of, like, knowing how far that reach goes. It's fascinating. Yeah. So I'm very curious. And then we get this, like...
Very Mrs. Doubtfire, this look.
I know. But she gets a great line where she's like, let's light her on fire. I was like, oh, let's go!
Hell yeah!
God, I'm excited.
I know. I could run through a wall. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then Kim is recreating the Hold Up video in Lemonade. I can only imagine how this got, set up. She was like, I don't know, I just want to, like, do the Lemonade. And, like, she's beating up, like, a Porsche or, like, a Maserati and probably, like, a Yves Saint Laurent gown and, like, dripping in diamonds. It's, like, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. This will be a fun scene to watch.
The amount of wealth that is going to be showcased on this show is really going to be something.
I know, like, we think we saw something on And Just Like That, and this is going to be, like, that times a million, I think. And we see this idiot guy, she's getting him, Sarah Paulson's telling him to cry, you're the victim here, and every tear you shed, you get, like, $100,000 or something like that. Yeah. So we see him crying to you. No empathy for this man. And then we get Tiana walking down the cervix. And then we get a montage. We see someone in handcuffs. We don't know who's in handcuffs. We see Sarah Paulson in a sexy nurse costume. With whom? I don't know.
No idea.
Someone's in a body bag. My guess is, like, is it like Glenn Close's husband or something? The way that they're like,
the way that they're all kind of huddled around her. Yes, and the fact that Sarah Paulson is also there, even though I have this feeling that, like, maybe Sarah Paulson's character used to work for the same law firm and then, like, defected for some reason, because there seems to be, like, an emotional undercurrent of, like, they don't just hate this woman because she's a rival lawyer. Like, they hate this woman for, like, more emotional reasons.
It's personal, baby. And they're hugging Kim as we, like, probably after the divorce. There's, like, there's no safe word. You can't tell us to stop. And Sarah is, like, lunging at Kim across the table while they're in negotiations. And then we see Tiana kissing him.
Yes! Again, I had to rewind because, no offense to this very handsome man, even though he does have, like, you know, a somewhat distinctive man bun, I was like, wait a minute, is this the same guy from the wedding and from the divorce lawyer's office? It is. This fucking guy. What the fuck? Unless it's strategic.
My thought is it's going to be strategic. I think this is a red herring. I think this is going to be actually that, like, there's a reason why she's making out with him. Niecy's like, you're not taking so much as a ballpoint pen. And Sarah's lines are all like, they're all like enough edging. They all, like, there's something sexual under every line that she has in the trailer. And she's also doing this, like, low, grovelly voice. That's, like, not her normal voice. That's, like, a fascinating choice.
Yeah, also, like, very, very, targeted enunciation, like the way she said "come," I was like, oh my god.
I know. I was like, we're gonna get this like 3,000 times an episode. Is like, and then we get this shot of them looking insane at the table, and I looked at this outfit from Kim, and I was like, interesting. I'm wondering if they pulled this from, because she's GQ Man of the Year in 2023, where she wore this outfit, and I was like, that's very similar to this outfit she's wearing here. So I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled from the same thing.
Yeah, very, very drag king. The previous outfit she was wearing, which obviously this is drag king.
An homage. Yeah. And then in the last shots of the trailer, we see Sarah dressed as Kim. And she's like, before you comment, I come in costume, I'll be dressing as a horror lawyer. And then Kim looks exactly the same. And then that's the end of the trailer.
I think the captions are wrong here. I think she says horror lawyer, not horror lawyer. So the fact that she said that, I was like, do these women hate each other because Kim's character, like, I don't know, slept with somebody that Sarah Paulson's character
Right.
was like in love with. Like there's just seems to be a lot going on.
Or was it like a business thing? Like, has she got, like, did she get partner over Sarah? And is that why Sarah left the firm? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very excited about this. I think, like, it's very fun that we're getting to do a season 1 show where we kind of don't really know what we're going into.
Yeah.
And, like, gotta find out what happens with these characters. It's 10 episodes, which I think is gonna be really fun. And they keep talking a lot in the press about how they all have a group chat going. They allegedly all hang out.
They're all best friends.
They're all commenting that Kim is amazing. There is an episode on... coming up either this week or next week on the Kardashians where they have a sleepover at Kris's house because Kim
all
has never
of
seen
these women?
all of these women because Kim has never seen Fatal Attraction. So Kris has all of them over.
Wait a minute. Kim is going to see Fatal Attraction for the first time while in the same room as Glenn Close.
Correct.
I would have to be hospitalized.
I know.
It's very closely coordinated that, like, this show is going to
PR.
premiere. Yeah, it's PR. This show is going to premiere, and also on the same streaming platform that the show's premiering on, we have behind the scenes, basically, of, like, her hanging out with the Kardashians.
It just feels like a spectacle in and of itself. So I think... I don't know. I'm just, like, very curious to see what the response is going to be, if people are going to continue watching, what is the end game, I think, for all of this. But
yeah, I'm curious about that, too, because you almost want to think, like, why are they doing so much? Is it because the show, like, isn't good? Is it to sort of, like, boost Kim's ego? Or is it just that they were, like, I don't know, these are, like, a bunch of, like, kick-ass, powerful actresses, like, let's, like, really do it up.
Right. Exactly. Oh, well, and I'll tell you also, just so you know as well, I think this was a bit maybe on this season or the season before of the Kardashians. Kim has also sold a movie to Netflix with Paula Pell.
Oh. Like
SNL.
she's like writing the movie with Paula Pell? Okay,
I think
gotcha.
Paula Pell's writing it, but she's like producing it probably with her, and Eva Longoria is attached to direct. So this is like, they're making Kim the actress. So it's like, I'm kind of curious to see like what this is going to be. As much as I have conflict with Kim, I do at my core I root for Kim. And I think because I've seen her since, I don't know, when did I start watching Keeping Up the Kardashians on E? That was like 2008, 2009 maybe. It was on E for like 14, 15 seasons. Yeah, and it's like fascinating to see how different they are now, and so I don't know. This is going to be an interesting watch.
I'm glad that you and I are doing this together because my knowledge base of Kim and her family is like so limited, because there was a very long period of time where I was like, ew, no.
Like, their cultural impact, like, can't be understated. Like, their web is so far reaching. Like I said, it goes back to OJ. Like, it's like crazy. Like, you like dig deep enough into things, and it's like them and the Hiltons, like, it's like an overlap of like how far their reach is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also just like excited from a standpoint of like, we're hopefully going to have some like absolutely tremendous acting from like actresses who are at the top of their game. And I'm also rooting for Kim too. Like, I don't want her to do a bad job. Like, I want her to do a good job. There is always a part of me, I remember feeling this way as a teenager when, like, you know, your favorite pop singer would suddenly, like, pivot to acting. And, like, as somebody who, when I was younger, wanted to be an actress, having sort of feelings of, like, it's not fair. Like, if you're already famous and have a lot of money, you get to just, like, do stuff that, like, people really try to do. And, like, there is some level of that with Kim. Yeah. Sometimes with me, whenever she pivots into something else, I'm like, what makes her qualified to do all of these things other than, like, people let her do it and she has a lot of money and influence? Doesn't mean she's not gonna, like, she might be a really good actress. More power to her.
Godspeed, Kimberly. But that's been our recap for the All's Fair trailer. Premiere of the first 3 episodes is November 4th on Hulu. It's going to be 3 episodes the first week, and then it's 1 episode a week after that. We cannot wait. Let us know what you think in the comments. How are you feeling about All's Fair? And thank you again to everyone who joined us for our live for Love is Blind recap this week.
Yes.
We had a great time. We're hoping to do more in the future. So if you missed it, it's still available on our channel to watch. But thank you so much again for joining us, everybody. Again, we are on Instagram and TikTok at And Just Like Yap. And we'll see you soon to recap All's Fair.
Gavel, gavel, gavel,
gavel, gavel, gavel.